This latest chapter of Black Clover, we are able to explore the lands of the rising suns when we are able to see how things are different from the culture, the magic, and the fighting styles compared to the other kingdom that we know so far and from Black Clover. But the biggest takeaway from this chapter is the girl who was with Ryu as he was introducing himself to Asta is actually Yami's sister, and she is not a big fan of Asta at all. And it seems like the family of Yamis are very powerful because we are able to see her power and her strength being displayed in this chapter. But let's start this review. So Asta's in the land of the rising suns after recovering from his battle against Lucius, as he is amazed that he's in this foreign country that is the homeland of Captain Yami. But he starts to wonder how the hell he's going to get back into the Clover Kingdom because he's so far away, and what's going to happen to everyone in the kingdom because Lucius is out here roaming free, probably causing destructions and mayhem. But Asta, he doesn't have any kind of contact, so he doesn't know what's going to happen to his friends, and that's why he's worrying. But Ryu informed him to relax because Lucius, he's not going to make any move anytime soon. So that really calmed Asta down. So Asta started to ask Ryu, what is a shogun, since you said that you were a shogun in this country? And he informed him that a shogun is their own version of the Wizard King. So which means that Ryu is also in charge of the whole entire country. And he also informed Asta that he can't sense magic. But later on in this chapter, he stated that he doesn't have any magical powers, which is very odd and questionable due to his ability that he's able to see through the future, but also to see the past, especially since he never met Asta, but he knows everything about him thanks to his eye or his eye patch. So I believe that Ryu is actually lying and not telling the truth or the whole truth, and he's just keeping everything a mystery, or he probably has time magic, or he also happily has the advanced ability of Ki. But we will later find out as the story continues. So Ryu, he tells Asta like, hey, you don't seem strong, but at the same time, I'm not strong as well. As Asta, he's just looking at Ryu like, bro, did you really just say that you're not really that strong? But Ichika, as angry as she is, she tells Asta that you better watch your mouth and you better not speak disrespectful to Ryu, you outsider. As Asta's apologizing to her and freaking out, and Ryu is just like, hey, calm down, calm down. But later, Asta, he's thinking that he's like, I can tell from her ki, but she seems really mad at me. But what is it? It seems very familiar, but I feel like I shouldn't go near her. Then all of a sudden Ryu tells Asta like, hey, you know what, since you woke up in this foreign country, let's take you sightseeing for a bit so that way your mind can be at ease, because I know your mind is probably racing at this current moment because you're at this unfamiliar place, which was a good idea because Asta, he's exploring and seeing the culture of the land of the rising suns. He's seeing like how people are dressed, how people using their magic, and how people don't really have grimoires. And that was the one key factor that Asta was very focusing on, and like his mind was actually blown because seeing how people, they use scrolls instead of grimoires, and then also knowing that the fact that they are not called magic, they're called sorceries as well. So the magic that they call in the Clover Kingdom, they will call it sorcery in the land of the rising sun. So Asta's enjoying himself, eating the different types of food, learning about the culture of the land of the rising suns, until he actually met and sees a woman with her child. And then he starts to have a PTSD moment while he's thinking of him, Sister Lily, and Yuno when he was a child, while Sister Lily would take them into the Clover Kingdom to look around the city. And then he starts to reminisce the last moment that he saw Sister Lily, which was that Sister Lily was turned into an angel, and she told Asta to die for the betterment of the peaceful world. And so Asta, he's just like Sister Lily, as he's just in shock. But Ryu, he kind of noticed something off. So he goes to the lady and the child, and he told them to move somewhere else and driving them away, which was a good thing because guess what? The explosion happened, and a bunch of bandits came out of the explosion ready to rob, steal, take everyone's food and valuables. Ryu, he saved the lady and the child as they're thanking him because they were been hit by the blast. And Asta, he's in the background. He's just like, wait a minute, did he save them by accident? It can't be. But did he save them on purpose? Or like, what's the deal? So the bandits, they go ahead and they look at Ryu. So they're just like, all right, give me all the stuff that we want because we need all these valuables and everything. As Ryu, he's just like, hey, look, I don't want any problems. And besides, too, I got no sorcery powers or anything. Then Ichika, she goes right in front of Ryu, and she's just like, all right, you know what? I'm going to teach these guys some lessons. I'm going to throw some hands. So the bandits, they're just laughing because all of a sudden they're just seeing this little girl, and they're just like, oh, so these little girls going to actually hurt us. They're actually going to put some damage. They're actually going to put their faith into a little girl to actually defeat us three big strong guys. And then as Ichika, she is just getting really irritated, and she show and display her strength. And we just see how powerful Ichika is because she says, do not touch me, as flow of like energy or ki or whatever you want to call it is going through her face and her arms as she does like an air palm strike, hitting all three bandits as they both fly towards the wall, creating a crater as everyone is in shock and in disbelief. Even Asta's just like, what the hell has happened? As the whole village, they start to cheer. And then Asta kind of noticed that he's just like, wait a minute, for this moment, I thought her key would screw up tenfold. Then all of a sudden I see this darkness. Then while everyone is cheering, they're saying, hurrah, hurrah, you are the best, Yami. And he's just like, wait a minute, Yami. He's just like, wait. He goes to Ichika and he says, wait, you can't be. Are you? And then Ichika goes ahead and she grabs Asta by the face and she said, do not approach me so casual, outsider. And then we see Ryu. He's telling Asta, he's just like, oh yeah, by the way, Ichika, she is Yami's younger sister. So if you want to get stronger, go get trained by them. The 7 Ryuzen. And then Asta, he is just in shock because he's just like, wait a minute, this is Yami's sister. As we see Ichika, she is just grabbing Asta like by the face, crushing it. And it says, Captain Yami's little sister, as she says, I really hate men like you. And the chapter ends, which was very, very shocking. The ending of the chapter was very shocking because it kind of just showcased that, yeah, so Captain Yami's like family probably have dark magic, because when Asta, he says that he sensed the key, he said that there was some kind of darkness. And we see when she was actually taking out these bandits, you see a whole flow of energy of like darkness surrounding her. And then so it just illustrates that, so like Captain Yami's family probably have like dark magic if they go into the Clover Kingdom. But also as well, just knowing that Captain Yami, the whole time we thought his name was Yami, his first name was actually his last name, which was very, very shocker as well. And it kind of just showcased like the whole, Captain Yami's family. They're all savages, they're all ruthless because she just has the same energy as Yami, which is just very hilarious. But it also kind of understands like how she is, like why she was so mad at the last chapter because knowing the fact that her older brother is over here in the Clover Kingdom and he's didn't even return home yet. So it just kind of like showcase and illustrate like, okay, like I can see why she was kind of frustrated, like why Yami's hanging out with these whole bunch of outsiders or all these stuff. And yet we have this outsider who knows about my brother, and yet my brother didn't even come home yet. So like there's just a lot of things that kind of like it kind of explain her attitude in the last chapter with this chapter, knowing that the fact that she is Yami's like younger sister. So it's just pretty interesting. But other than that, let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter, with your guys thought process of, you know, Ryu saying that he doesn't have any sorcery powers. Do you think he's just capping, or do you think it's just like he's telling the truth, or anything else? But other than that, let me know down in the comment section. If you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. It's the Monto Man. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be safe, and I'm sorry for rambling, but yeah, bye.